Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome one and all to this afternoon's Markets Now trading event. Hope you're all doing well out there, team. Good afternoon to you, Tony Tone. Good afternoon, Sarah. Good to see you. Hey there, AB. We got Jack Buckles in the room as well. Good afternoon, Bacon Dude. Good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well today, guys. So, yes, I am on a slight bit early today. I've got an appointment with the doctors at 2 o'clock, so had to come on a little bit early. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to make it back in time for the US Open, so you're probably going to be in for a fantastic trading session this afternoon because I'll be absent and only there in spirit with you all. And it's usually the way it works, but who knows? Who knows what we're going to be in store for today? So, yeah. And by the way, as well, guys, for those of you who are UTC traders and you are available for the Equities Masterclass sessions, the last event is up and posted in the investment hub. So it was session 12 that was done this morning, 3 months worth of tuition style video courses, video lessons, which have all come to a head this morning. So if you haven't watched that already, please feel free to go and do so. Right, so today then, what are we looking at, team? US 30 Dow Jones first and foremost on the list. We've got the break, close and retest taking place at the moment, don't we? Of big liquidity up at the highs. We also have, of course, the point there in which we will be looking for, or actually, yeah, no, probably down there actually. So that would be the trading margin for the long today. Price line liquidity about there for the breaker structure. We already had a couple attempts, been fail. Might be nicer having things a little bit lower down, possibly for a slightly more aggressive approach to this one. About there maybe. Push back into liquidity. Market opens, we go long. Yeah, something like that. I think it looks quite nice. So we could be looking at that for a long today in the Dow. For the short, I mean, that breaker structure is definitely there for a reason. It makes sense, but I don't know if I like it too much. Yeah, I mean, it's the only one that really makes sense there, isn't it? It's the exact same setup we had yesterday. Market's not really moved anywhere additionally, so yeah, there's no point trying to come up with a different plan because it is where the market is. So what we're going to do here is bring that all the way down. We've got a 1 to 3.16 on the short. We've got a 1 to 3.16 on the long. And that's the plan for the Dow Jones today. There doesn't seem to be much point in thinking about anything else right now. Yeah, that's going to be the one. Don't need that anymore. Okay, next up, US tech stocks this afternoon. So we're at all-time high trading on the NAS 100. Looks like a pretty staggered day today. But make no mistake, this one may well go for another all-time high breakout this afternoon upon the US Open. It usually does, especially in recent history. We've got this area in here. So relatively big point of inflection. Kind of have a break, close and a retest. Kind of. It's a little bit choppy. And like I say, it's very staggered today. Difficult to know what to do on this NAS 100. We have such a huge leg to the upside at the moment. It doesn't really seem to want to pull back at this moment in time. There's no geopolitical or economic reason for it to do so today, as it currently stands. So I suppose the opportunity just looks like long continuation. Very, very choppy in here at the moment. But that being said, long continuation still appears to be the best course of action. Don't mind my dogs howling away. So that's where we are at the moment for the NAS. The opportunity here is for the break close retest continuation. So we'll be looking for the move back down into liquidity, a break of the structure, and then we'll be looking for a 1 to 2.5 or whatever it may be long. Nothing more than that. So let's say, for example, we get in after the break of structure there. This trade idea will look something along the lines of this. Maybe something like that for a NAS 100 long. If you want to go short the NAS 100, I mean, ultimately, team, just don't short it. It does not look viable for shorts. Too many questionable areas in the trading margin. Doesn't really have a decent path of least resistance for the short right now. That being said, however, there might be the room to short the S&P instead. And because both of them are so significantly invested in tech sectors, it makes sense. It makes sense that we could offset some of that short risk or the lack thereof in the NAS 100 with some potential risk short in the S&P. Now, if we look at where the stop loss is on that initial trade that was done, we drag the zone across the right hand side. This area in here is potential breaker structure point. We've got this noise that's just happened, so we do have to take that into consideration. But if we think about it going back in time, that's like the perfect 50% point between those two zones. So I'm not overly worried about that. If we go down to the 1 minute time frame, the breaker structure for this one is probably about there. By which time, if we do get the short, it's an entry, a target, and a stop loss for a 1 to 3.2, which is not that bad. You could have something a lot more pessimistic, maybe a 1 to 2.5. Still be a really, really nice trade, but give it even more flexibility with the stop loss. So yeah, I don't think that's too bad, to be honest. I think that's quite a nice trade. We'll keep the long on the NAS 100 because that makes sense. We'll keep the short on the S&P 500 this afternoon because that makes sense. And then we've got the Dow Jones coming in with opportunities on both sides of the market, and that positions us quite evenly across the US indices this afternoon. Right, let's move on. Let's see our energy markets. So, first of all, natural gas. So this one's gone all over the place now. Breaker structure. We got the push back up here. Came down, didn't break structure again. It, in fact, went all the way up to this level up here at 314. At this moment in time, I would probably suggest to remove that trade idea now. Yeah, I think it carries too much risky business in natural gas at the moment. No rhyme or reason to it. We got very, very, I don't know what, lucky, I suppose you'd say. We did well last week, but this week it's not really showing the same kind of move, is it? It's all over the damn shop. So, not for me right now, that one. UK Brent, definitely remove this team. No point in having that one on anymore. We've gone way, way past. So that's 100.76 now. UK Brent looks like it's on the up and up due to the continuation of Middle East tensions that are increasing. Trump not bending over. We got the US crude market. Again, US crude price is rallying. 95.78 so far. Above liquidity. It looks long, green and strong, unfortunately. Looking at gold. Well, looking at all the precious metals. They have come down slightly. Silver's down there at the moment, 74.308. Gold's trading respectively at 44.59. In order for the gold long to be ready to go, we need to see a push into liquidity at around 440. So this will be the decision point for us. I've already got my alarm posted up there anyway, so when the alarm goes off, I'll let you guys know if you don't catch it either at the same time. Aussie CAD. This is a shame, this one, guys. Yeah, there's Aussie CAD. Came up to within a stone's throw of the target profit, and then ended up coming straight the way back down again to stop loss. That was a real shame, that one. What else we got? Euro NZD. That was that one. Obviously, we already looked at that one. But yeah, that Aussie CAD, that was a real shame. Yeah, I think that's about where we're at, to be honest, at the moment. Precious metal markets, nothing to say. We're just waiting, sitting on our hands for gold. Energy markets, no longer interested in natural gas short. UK Brent is far surpassed the last moment in time where I'd be interested in a short in that one. Don't really want to go long. Don't really want to go, be buying into UK Brent at the moment. Doesn't make too much sense. And the same goes for US crude. So sitting on the hands moment on that one as well. Which leads us to the US indices. And the US indices, we're looking pretty balanced today. Trades on both sides of the market on the Dow Jones. We've got a really nice long availability on the NAS 100. And we've got an equally nice short available on the S&P. So I will leave you guys with that. So we are currently coming up to around 1:15. Is there anything that I can do for you guys before calling it a wrap? Anything that you'd like me to take a look at? Opportunities that you've got on the horizon? All good, Tony Tone. Good man, good man. Bacon Dude, why is buying into Brent a bad idea at the moment? Because of the cycle of the geopolitical scenario that the US and Iran find themselves in. The best time to be buying into oil is when we first found out that the US was going to war with Iran in the Middle East. That was the best time to buy. The second stage of the best time to buy was when we found out that more Middle Eastern nations were joining the fight. Now is the worst time to be buying into the oil market because we're right at the very end of the tension. Now, if there's renewed tensions and new stuff happens, then it can be a consideration. But right now, we are looking at Brent prices up at 100, well, plus 100. If we go up to the daily and the weekly time frame up here, just to get some perspective on that, the only time we've been trading above there is once before, and that was around the coronavirus years. So for me, at this point in time, there was only one direction really that UK Brent's going to be heading in the next sort of 6 months to a year, and that's down. And I'd be expecting it to trade lower into maybe 80 or maybe 70 or so. Yeah, it's a 50-50, but we've already seen it get going, and the get going took us up to 120. We're currently trading at 101. When we got going the first time around, we moved from 70 to 120. At this point in time, we've only got about a third of the move left until we get to those previous highs. And I really, really do not think, unless, something catastrophic happens, which let's all hope and pray that it does not. But unless something catastrophic happens, I don't think we'll be exceeding the 110 after another bout of geopolitical tensions between the two entities, So I just don't think there's too much more money in it. Yeah, that's right. A lot's changed since the beginning of this, since it all kicked off. A lot. So I think there's a lot more moving parts and spinning plates that we need to consider now as well. But time will tell. Time will tell. We just gotta weather the storm. That's what I keep saying. It's like my train of thought every week at the moment is weathering the storm. Markets aren't what they used to be at the moment. Definitely going through a bit of a funny stage, and it's been extended. So it is the same goes for everyone. Long-term traders, short-term traders, experienced, inexperienced. Doesn't matter who you are or what kind of trading you do. We've all been affected by it. Yeah. No worries, mate. No worries. That's absolutely fine. Right, guys. We'll have a good one this afternoon then. Let me know how you get on, yeah? Keep me posted and stuff. And I look forward to catching up with you as the day progresses. And, yeah, we see what's a cracking with our US Open this afternoon. So take care, guys, and I'll catch you then. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.